I'm doing Depp vs. Heard, pop culture, things like that, and Johnny and Amber are still making the news. Here's a New York Post from December 23rd, 2022. It says, I don't see Johnny Depp being redeemed in Hollywood, industry source. All right, let's see what they got this time. Earlier this week, big-time movie producer Jerry Bruckheimer, Top Gun, Bad Boys, Black Hawk Down, revealed he would like to cast the most obvious but least likely actor to star in a possible 6th edition of Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, Johnny Depp. I would love to have him in the movie, Bruckheimer told The Hollywood Reporter of the actor who played Captain Jack Sparrow in 5 Pirates movies. He's a friend, a terrific actor, and it's unfortunate the personal lives creep into everything we do. All right, fair enough. But a knowledgeable film industry player views that as a long shot. I think he will have a career, but I don't see him being redeemed, the player said of the actor. I think big name people in Hollywood will steer clear of him. Well, Jerry's a huge name in Hollywood and he wants him in Pirates, which is the movie most people want to see him in. So, I get what the guy's saying. I'll be fair. Disney, Warner Bros., no apology, no statement, no nothing after Johnny won. So, they might be lost forever, but that doesn't mean other big names won't pick Johnny up. To recap, Depp's personal life over the past few years has included accusations by his ex-wife Amber Heard of domestic violence, allegedly slapping and hitting her, throwing her across a room, ripping off her nightgown, and sexually assaulting her with a glass bottle, and the revelation that he texted "Let's burn Amber" to his notorious and not sure how to pronounce that co-star Paul Bettany. So obviously the Post wants to stay one-sided about the accusations against Johnny. I find the glass bottle story fairly unbelievable, just to be honest. It came out of nowhere. I've been covering this for a long time. I can't recall that, but I could be wrong. Thing is, we've got evidence that Amber was actually hitting Johnny. And they say in parentheses, Depp has denied everything. It all led to him losing roles in the Fantastic Beasts and Pirates franchise. Despite the fact that Bruckheimer might welcome him to the Pirates cast, the film industry player has his doubts about it actually being possible. Disney is the most scandal-averse of the studios because of their brand and theme parks. But they're happy to get into some very far-left theory in their cartoons and things now. So, I don't know. Seems like they pick and choose what they want to do, not just play it fair for everyone. It didn't help that when Depp and Heard squared off in court earlier this year, accusing each other of defamation, his shocking alleged lifestyle was revealed. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, if you're living under a rock, you might be shocked that Johnny drank a lot, did some drugs as a rock star and a movie star. And come to think of it, who exactly did that shock? Not me. Not his fans. Not anyone with common sense. On the stand, the actor seemingly found it difficult to remember the movie franchise that made him a star. Photos showed him allegedly passed out due to intoxication, including one of him on the floor with his head tucked in a nightstand and another with a melted ice cream all over his lap, which Amber probably placed there because it seems like a really weird photo. And I think the only photo I've ever seen Johnny eating like this big can of ice cream or whatever it was. He was alleged to have downed a Ziploc bag full of random pills to see what would happen. Keyword, alleged, 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 alleged. Alleged, alleged, alleged. He probably did it. He maybe did it. She said he did it. It's really, really tiring. But this is December 23rd, 2022. They're still throwing this stuff out there. Testifying, ex-lover actress Ellen Barkin called Depp jealous, controlling, and demanding, and claimed he once threw a bottle of wine in her direction. So they continue to be negative. Hollywood producer and consultant and advisor Catherine Arland said on the stand that reports of Depp's poor work habits made it harder for Hollywood to financially back him. We talked about the erratic behavior, the tardiness, the drugs, and the alcohol abuse, Arnold testified. And the lawsuits have had a really big impact. Not just this lawsuit, but previous lawsuits that Mr. Depp has been involved in because there's a lot of publicity around anything he does. Yes, that's right. There's publicity around anything he does, no matter how small, blown out of proportion, which doesn't only happen to Johnny, but of course to all celebrities who are on his level or close to his level. Let's just say close, because not too many people are actually on his level. But you guys get the drift. Although the courtroom decision was in his favor, with a jury ordering Heard to pay him more than $10 million in damages, by then, Enough had been exposed and alleged for Depp to be shunned by Hollywood, who is a great, glistening place of fairness. Hollywood is a place that thinks critically and makes the right choice after all the facts and evidence has been revealed. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just Hollywood and they just kind of do what they feel like doing based on what a small portion of the audience thinks. That sounds more correct. There are different levels of shunning, the player told the Post. Depp is not at the Kevin Spacey level. My guess is that he is more in the Mel Gibson range. The international audience will be happy to see him in things, and probably a lot of people in the US as well. I'm the international audience. Obviously, I'll be happy to see him in anything. And I could speak for Japan too, for the most part. Japanese people, happy to see Johnny Depp. Absolutely. I've asked around these 2 years, haven't found one person that I asked in my life that said, I don't know, that thing with his ex-wife. No one knows. Come over to Japan, Johnny. I mean, look, I get what this person's saying. They're not completely wrong because it's not about Johnny, it's about how people perceive Johnny. So it's not negative towards him, it's how people perceive him, basically. And yeah, she's right. There are levels of being canceled, but there's no rules. There's no definitive way to know. The door's wide open, anything can happen. Taking it further, the player believes that Depp will have a career moving forward, just not necessarily in Hollywood, which I kind of agree with too. You could see he's doing stuff in Europe with music and all that kind of thing. But good. Johnny's 60. He's lived his whole life making Hollywood movies and things. Let him do his own thing because they get part of the money, or I think they get most of the money that he makes them. I mean, if Pirates makes $1 billion, what does Johnny get? 10 million? 12 million? Maybe 20 million? He gets like a tiny fraction of it. It's not like Johnny's in it, it makes $1 billion, whatever it makes, 700 million, 600 million, and he gets like 100 million. I don't know exact numbers, but I think, it's just a small fraction of what the movie makes. So he'd be making them money. So fine, bye. It would be nice to see them on a moralistic standpoint say, okay, we were wrong. We want Johnny back. But as far as the money goes, why should Johnny make them money anymore? Then they continue on about the international market a little bit, but okay, we get the point. So, of course, NYP keeping up the smear, the negativity, nothing negative about Amber here, all negative towards Johnny. But at the end, I will agree with the core point they're making that there's levels of being canceled and things like that. But they don't get into if he actually deserves it or not. Let me know what you think down below. Doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If not subscribed here, consider it. And if you don't subscribe and don't consider it, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.